yo, how you doing, guys? It's 1/5 of them boys, so you know what that means. We're here now, guys. This isn't your normal prediction show because yes, you've got the one AJ doing the normal prediction bit, but there's a bit of a twist. It's not your WWE's, it's not your AEW's. It is British royalty in terms of wrestling. Yes, that's right, guys. I am talking Burning Heart. Now, guys, if you've not heard of Burning Heart, trust me, you have been missing out. This is a fantastic promotion. So much so that guess what? There's no MOW t-shirt going on. That's right, the 1AJ is repping Burning Heart because, quite frankly, I have been blessed and honoured to be tagging up with my boy Double V, APA 2.0, if you know what you know. If you know, you know, should I say. But yes, we are the commentary team for Burning Heart. We were down for their show down in Wolverhampton, not the inaugural show, but we've been lucky enough to have called that show, and we have now been invited to the Northwest Weekender to crown the first ever Burning Heart heavyweight champion. There's a tag title out there, but now there is a tournament to crown the first men's heavyweight champion. And I tell you what, I am ever so pumped for this weekender, guys. So what you're going to hear is a bit of a prediction from me. We'll probably get a video from the guys if possible, seeing who they think is going to win, but just going to give you a little insider into this Northwest Weekender, which cannot be missed if you are down in the UK. You know what? Even if you're not in the UK, jump on a plane, jump on a train, but jump on a boat. Doesn't matter. Get yourself down there because Burning Heart is for the wrestlers, by the wrestlers, and also for the fans. Just like I always say, if you like wrestling, let's talk wrestling, let's watch wrestling. So here we go, guys. Let's kick it off with night one, which is happening down at the Liverpool Olympia, Sunday, 8th of March. It is going to be an absolutely banging show, guys. And you know what? If you are a wrestler on the come up, there is something for you guys that I promise you cannot miss. It should not be missed. We are talking about a seminar with... There we go. Limited spaces available, guys. You can get a chance to be on the Burning Heart card. And who can you be trained by? GYV and Mark Haskins. Guys, do not sleep on this opportunity. Sign up as quick as you can. And if you impress the trainers on the night, guess what? You could be on the card. So I've said that already. Now, where will you be in the card? Well, it's going to be very interesting. There's a very, very nice match that has been kicked off. And here we go. We have two entrants already in the six-man scramble. We have Wild Boar, who you should know from both NXT, all over Europe, ICW. He's done it all. And Scott Oberman, a gentleman who I have been very lucky to have seen very recently down at a Future Shock show for the love of wrestling. Great talent. And who knows who else will be entered in there. But if you are an up-and-coming wrestler, guys, there is your chance to be in there. Who knows what could be happening there? If you've been trained by GYV and Mark Haskins, then enter a tournament with Wild Boar, who knows what opportunities could be available from you? You could even be the next Burning Heart champion. I don't know. I'm not plugging. I'm just saying the opportunities are there, so be sure to sign up very quickly, guys. Right, now, what else is down on the card, which is going to be an absolute barn burner? I am talking about two people who have a lot of love for TNA, but they are definitely here repping Burning Heart. We are talking none other than Danny Luna as she takes on Liverpool's own Harley Hudson. Now, guys, look, it's not on me to call it. Will the home crowd be showing their love to Harley? Because you know what? Who wouldn't? But at the same time, Harley's not really your traditional fan favorite down at Burning Heart. So you know what? There's always a lot of love for Danny Luna wherever she goes. So it's going to be a big match. If I'm honest, if I'm going to call a prediction on this one, I am probably going to lean with Harley. I feel that it's just enough with the Liverpool fans right behind her. Harley's going to take the victory on that one, but it will not go down easy because Danny Luna doesn't die. So you know it's going to be such a huge, huge fight between the two. But I reckon Harley's just going to edge it. Okay, guys, now let's look at this tournament. Let's go down with some of the awesome matches there. Then I'm going to break it down a bit further on. But in no particular order, we have Robbie X versus Donovan Dijak. We have... Now, I don't know if it's luck of the draw. I don't know if it's someone with a sense of humor down at Burning Heart. Luke Jacobs versus Ethan Allen. Young Gun versus Young Gun. This is going to be an absolute barn burner. Then we have Trent Seven versus Kenny Williams. This is also going to be one to excite you. And the final one of the quarterfinals, guys, we are talking Mark Haskins, obviously with Vicky always by his side, taking on Kid Lycos, who hopefully will have Lycos too in his side because you know what? That could just about play out the field. It's going to be big, that card. Look at those. As far as I can call it, wrestling royalty, UK wrestling royalty, and a bit of the US. Let's not discount Dijak when we say that. And what can I imagine to be the main event of night one? We are talking FSU versus GYV for the Burning Heart tag titles on the line. It's big. This is huge. Now, one thing I've got to say. When I was down there and I saw the inaugural tag champs, Robbie X and Zachary Wentz, taking on FSU, I've got a lot of love for FSU, but I was like, it has to be like, it was so hard to call, you know, a tag team who have not really tagged up for it together for a while versus a newly crowned tag team champs, and it was a very difficult balance. I have to call it on this one. As much as I got a lot of love for Eddie, I got a lot of love for Mark. You can't discount GYV. And again, let's look at the t-shirts, guys. They're wearing Liverpool inspired t-shirts, very much like Harley. This has to be the hometown advantage for GYV. Also, if you're familiar with your Burning Heart, last show, Burning Heart down at Wolverhampton, GYV took on Kenny Williams and a mystery tag partner. That mystery tag partner was none other than Rob Drake. Now, if GYV could catch a victory with that kind of mentality, that kind of mind games going on with JD, James Drake had to take on younger brother Rob Drake, and they were still able to overcome that despite all the mind games that Kenny was able to display. Yeah, GYV and FSU might have a lot of history. There's been a lot of back and forth. I believe that with the home advantage and that seasoned continuous tag format that GYV have got together, I believe this is their chance. I believe this is their chance to take home the Burning Heart tag title. Look, you know GYV are no strangers to holding gold anywhere they go, but this is going to be one hell of a match. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Nothing but love to FSU if you guys are watching the video, but I do believe that will be our new tag champs. It's sad that it can only be one show, possibly, for FSU, but I can't vote against GYV on this one. I'm gritting my teeth. Right, guys, just a little reminder one more time. Liverpool, this is the quarter final bracket. Dijak versus Robbie X, Mark Haskins versus Kid Lycos, Young Guns implosion, Ethan Allen versus Luke Jacobs. I could be wrong, but I believe this is the first time those two are going head to head. And Trent Seven versus Kenny Williams. Guys, do not miss that show. Do not miss that show. And if you do, just for whatever reason, you've got a Saturday plan already in place, please tell me you don't have a Sunday plan in place, because down on Sunday, down in Manchester, guys, at the Manchester Academy, Burning Heart returns. And guess what? It was so big. Dijak is doing a seminar. It is completely sold out. They had to add another seminar. So if you're an up-and-coming wrestler in, around Manchester, guess what? Even if you're in London, it's worth the travel. If you couldn't make it to Liverpool, get yourself down to Manchester and definitely get on there. And once again, the chance to be on the card. I am so excited for any potential wrestler on that. I don't even know what match is involved for them, but a chance to train with Dijak, who we know has been a hit maker on the indie scene and in other places. Now's a chance to get to train with one of the best, especially if you missed out on the GYV and Haskins. Make sure you make it down for Dijak, guys. You can't miss all of that training out there. These are fantastic seminars. But that's not all that Manchester has to offer, because as well as the semi-finals and the finals, we have Danny Luna versus Holly Barlow. Now, guys, I know I voted for Harley Hudson down in Liverpool. I've seen Holly. Holly's doing amazing stuff, but you can't discount Danny. There is no way Danny's coming down for an entire weekend and losing everything. I guarantee, I shouldn't guarantee anything. Just because I'm wearing a t-shirt, just because I'm doing a commentary, there is no inside information, guys. This is strictly pure competition. The winners are decided as you see it in the ring. That's how it goes. Pure fighting. All of these guys have got a burning heart. That's what they're representing, as are we. But I cannot say it. I can't vote against this one. Holly is a fantastic performer, but I see Danny Luna taking the victory on this. Now, guys, we've mentioned the brackets. Now, you must want to know, how does AJ see it going? I shouldn't do this. This is Photoshop. Photoshop. AJ Photoshop, if you would. There is no insider information. This is strictly a prediction on my side. I am going for this to be the way of the tournament. I believe that when you have fight versus flight, strength versus high flyer, I believe Dijak will just gradually edge the victory over Robbie X. But Robbie's just lost the tag title, so don't discount the opportunity of Robbie possibly winning. On the other side, Young Guns implosions. Now, if you know your Brit Rest, Luke Jacobs represents heavyweight title. I've not seen that from Ethan Allen, and I'm not taking any way away from Ethan when I say this. I see Luke Jacobs moving forward. Haskins versus Lycos, awesome match. There are so many advantages here, especially with Vicky Haskins. We've seen it last time at Wolverhampton. Mark Haskins versus Leon Slater would easily be a match of the night on anyone's card. That is a main event anywhere. And I believe this is the victory that Mark is still going to have. But guys, let's not discount Kid Lycos. Lycos lost his last match in Wolverhampton. He has a lot to prove too. And you know what? Don't discount Lycos too being there just to help Lycos even the score. But he could go through. But I do see Mark Haskins taking the victory. And finally, Trent Seven versus Kenny Williams. Guys, I mentioned it earlier. There is a lot of mind games when it comes to Kenny Williams, and I think he might just be dastardly enough to sneak a victory over the legend that is Trent Seven. So how do I see it? I believe we will be seeing Dijak versus Jacobs, and I believe we'll be seeing Williams versus Haskins. And ultimately, when it comes down to Dijak versus Luke Jacobs, we're in Manchester, guys. I'm going all in on this one. I see Luke Jacobs taking the victory there. And then on the other side, Kenny Williams, Mark Haskins. Mark may be devious, but there's nothing more devious than Mark Haskins and Vicky Haskins in his corner. And that's where I see Mark Haskins taking the victory. And now we're going for the championship prediction final from my end. Mark Haskins versus Luke Jacobs. I am so torn on this, ever so torn. But I do believe, and I shouldn't say it because you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it's on record. You guys have all heard me say it. But I believe with all of Manchester cheering him on, potentially Ethan Allen on his corner to even out anything that Vicky Haskins may do. And the fact that this guy has been a belt collector of heavyweight titles, I believe this could be Luke Jacobs' time once again to hold gold. But again, guys, if I bring up this bracket, and I'm not going to go through my prediction, I'm going to go through the normal bracket, and I'm just going to run this by you guys one more time. Look at the other potentials that are there. What happens if I'm wrong and Trent Seven wins? What happens if I'm wrong and Lycos beats Haskins? There was a rematch from Wolverhampton, and God knows Lycos will not be as cocky as he was in the closing moments of that other match. He may come out on top. What happens if Robbie X comes through? He's got something to prove. He wants gold again down at Burning Heart. What if he beats Dijak and he moves forward? What if Ethan Allen's like, yeah, everyone always promotes Luke. What about me? I've got something to prove. You can mix all of that round, and with that, there would be another champion. There are so many variables with having just 8 men in there that, you know who I feel like? I feel like Doctor Strange. I feel like Doctor Strange in Infinity War when he's doing all the calculations and like, there is only one way. That's how big this is. So you know what, guys? I've said it already. Burning Heart is the place to be for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans. This is heavily endorsed. I look, there's no promotion, paid promotion in this, guys. All we are doing is, as I always say, you like wrestling, we like wrestling, so let's talk wrestling. But more importantly than talking wrestling, let's watch some good wrestling together all weekend. Saturday down in Liverpool, Sunday down in Manchester, the 1AJ, Double V, representing the ministry, but also repping Burning Heart and having one hell of a show. Come and see me after. Come and see me Sunday night and be like, AJ, you were wrong. That guy's your title holder. Oh, you were wrong. That's your new tag team champs or your current tag team champs. Oh, well done, son. You got it all right. This is just strictly a prediction. And this is the guy who's losing the prediction show, guys. But I'm putting down this prediction. I'm being bold. I'm being strong. Burning Heart. It's a weekend not to be missed, because to miss is to diss, and you ain't dissing Burning Heart, you're dissing yourself if you're missing it. So check it out. Links below, guys, for all the tickets availabilities. Comment below your predictions. And before I close this, let's not leave it just down to me. Let's hear how the other ministry are voting and who they believe will be the inaugural Burning Heart heavyweight champion. But you know what? I'm going to close it on that because I've said enough already. So until the next time, I am the 1AJ, and I hope to see you down at the Burning Heart weekend. And I am out. See ya. Double V picks Mark Haskins to win the championship tournament. Big Tone believes Dijak will beat Robbie X, Luke Jacobs will beat Ethan Allen, Mark Haskins will beat Kid Lycos, and Trent Seven will beat Kenny Williams. In the semis, he believes Luke Jacobs will beat Dijak, and Mark Haskins will beat Trent Seven, and the overall winner will be Luke Jacobs. Simsy believes Trent Seven will win the championship tournament.
What up here? It's Den Tech, the wrestling fan that does watch all these indie shows. Yeah, that's right. That's my life. I watch indie shows. You know, when I say I don't watch wrestling, I mean, I haven't got time to sit there for 3 hours, watch a bunch of commercials. I'm there to sit with the crowd, have a great time, and that's my indie shows. too bad for me right now that the two shows are in. One's in Manchester, and one's in Liverpool. If you're in the area, go, go because you're gonna see some amazing wrestling. These guys can go. But I want to get a breakdown who I think's gonna win. Not just who I think's gonna win, which I'm gonna let you know from the get go. I think Luke Jacobs gonna win, but going down the card, I'm not gonna go through everyone's names because AJ might have mentioned the entire lineup. But I'm gonna give my path for Luke Jacobs and who he's gonna face in the finals. So I got Luke. Yeah, he's gonna go over in the opening. Yeah, he's gonna go because he's just so tough. He's gonna, yeah, Luke's gonna win, but I think in the semi-finals in that bracket, it's gonna go up against Robbie X. Robbie in X. You know how to say it. So yeah, you're gonna have Luke and Robbie X. That'd be a great semi-final. That'd be a good finals. But them two are gonna go up against each other. On the other side of the board, man, I can't go out. I can't diss my boy, my man, not boy, Trent Seven. Because come on, man, yeah, show pure respect for Trent right now. But it's gonna be, I think, in the semi-finals, for him, it's gonna be him and Lycos, because not yeah, Lycos won. It's Lycos, but not Lycos. I can't say Lycos won because it's original. But Lycos versus Trent in that semi-finals, and I don't know to go to the finals part. Well, y'all know I got Luke Jacobs to win overall, so Luke is gonna go over on Robbie X and make it to the finals. Lycos versus Trent is going to be a great match to see, and I wish I could be there to see that one, but I see Lycos going over because, yeah, I will want to see that Lycos versus Luke Jacobs finals, and who you're going to get Hardstyle versus, the, no disrespect, I call it flippity do, but yeah. Yo, I want to see that match. I would love for them to come down to a UK show somewhere. So a UK show, a London show somewhere, so I can get there. Because I made a deal with myself not to travel out of London for a wrestling show. And that was my line. M25. If you're inside of it, I'll be at your show. Outside, I'm not sure. But if you if you live in the area, please go. You've got nothing but bangers on. No matter who makes it to the finals, no matter who wins, it's bangers on bangers on bangers. But my boy Luke Jacobs gonna take it. Manchester ain't that far, Look for a MOW shirt. You might see me there. Just saying it.
Yeah, I know. I said I wasn't going to come back, and maybe it's because I like the sound of my own voice, but I'm listening to the guys. I'm going over my reverse bracketology of it all. And again, this is not anything plugged, but I'm just thinking, how awesome would it be? And this is just an AJ prediction. It's not a guarantee. I may have spoiled a Burning Heart surprise, and then you know what? That's the end of me on the commentary team. But one thing I would love to see down in Manchester, everybody who lost in the quarterfinals, maybe even in the semi-finals, all going into one, maybe rumble, maybe elimination match, maybe let's quote it, Thunder Bastard-esque type match, having these guys come down in a last victor standing match. Maybe it's a scramble match, I couldn't tell you, but any form of match, and just seeing the winner of that, who knows, maybe even the person who won the seminar, all in one big match, the winner becomes number one contender to the inaugural champion. Imagine that. The inaugural champion's crowned, your first number one contender's crowned. Yeah, the person who lost in the finals is going to be kind of PO'd that they don't get a rematch straight away. But could you imagine that? I'm just loving that. And I just want to throw that idea out there, maybe to Burning Heart, maybe to you fans. If you agree, comment below once again. But you know what? Enough talk. 1AJ once again signing out, and I hope to see you down there, guys. Really hope to see you down there. See ya. Okay, guys, okay, I know I said I've gone, but since the recording was done, I've been on the Burning Heart social media, and I can't keep this back. I can't not tempt you guys with this weekender even more, because look, I don't know if I've got the mind of a booker, if the powers that be at Burning Heart tapped into my video before it was released. However, my wish has come through. those who didn't qualify into the semi-finals and the seminar winners will be in a six-man scramble. I cannot wait for this one. I can't promise that it will lead to a number one contendership, but hey, you never know. Okay, guys, the pride of Wales is on the line for this one as Wild Boar takes on Mark Andrews. Now, this is interesting, guys, because at Liverpool, it will be FSU taking on GYV. Now, here's the thing. If GYV win the title, or if they don't win the title and FSU retain, it doesn't matter. The determination of this match between Wild Boar and Andrews is if Wild Boar wins, he becomes the number one contender to the Burning Heart Tag titles with a partner of his choice. Now, I'm not one to speculate, and I'm not one to go against FSU, even though I voted against that, as you know. But think of this one, guys. If FSU retain, I don't know why, but there's a sneaky feeling in my stomach that some chaos may ensue. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know on that one. But then that's not the only tag team that Wild Boar has been involved in. So there's other options for sure. But yeah, will we see a bit of chaos or will we see a hunt take place? That, guys, is not down to me. That is down to one man and one man only. That is Wild Boar. But I say that on the other end, there is most definitely Mark Andrews, who was got a lot to say. And also, guys, the tag team action does not stop there because GYV, whether they are holding the tag title or not, a challenge has been set to them by Danny the Hope, guys. That is right. Delicious Danny has challenged GYV to one more match down at Burning Heart in good old Manchester. Will we see the models return? Will GYV accept the challenge? There's only one way to find out, guys, and that's booking your ticket down to Manchester, joining us at Burning Heart for what is going to be one hell of a weekend. This, guys, I promise, is my final send-off. I'm out. See ya.